So, like I said, consistency is going to be my new thing, and so I wanted to do a video today. I know that I probably should have done it, I don't know, later or earlier in the year, or at least last year sometime, but this is going to be my top 5 albums of 2020 video. Now, what I want you guys to understand about my top 5 albums is that it's not me saying that musically these are the best albums of 2020. This is me saying out of personal enjoyment, these are the albums that I'm rocking with the most. These are the albums that I bought. These are the albums that I'm spinning more. So we're going to kick it off with my honorable mentions. I do have a few. Be Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist. Limbo by Amine. It Was Good Until It Wasn't by Kehlani. And Rearrange Us by Mountain Joy. I do have a stack of 5 records because I do own every record on this list. And I'm going to start off with my number 5 record, Pedals for Armor by Hayley Williams. Now, Paramore is one of my favorite bands of all time. And Hayley really comes in to this album showing off her vocal and songwriting ability. We have a lot of highs, a lot of lows. We have some rasp in there. Favorite song off the album is absolutely going to be Cinnamon. It's just the one that I return to the most. Sudden Desire is also a really good song. But from side A to side D, I thoroughly enjoy the album. So that's why it put it at number 5. I think I spin it like 4 times a week at least. Number 4, Logic, No Pressure. This is Logic's retirement album. To the likes of its predecessor, Under Pressure, and The Incredible True Story. This album, in my eyes, is a complete 10. I have no hate toward this album. Logic comes in with flow like we know and love from him. He returns with No ID again as his producer, which is a phenomenal grouping. I don't understand why he ever stopped working with No ID, quite honestly. And he came in with certified bangers on top of sequels to songs that he had already produced. So Aquarius 3 and Soul Food 2, absolutely. Man I Is, favorite song on the album, and Hit My Line is also Punisher by Phoebe Bridgers. Honestly, I really wish that I would have gotten onto Punisher sooner. I probably would have the limited edition version of it instead of just the black pressing, but Punisher is absolutely a Phoebe Bridgers classic. Her vocals are gorgeous. Songwriting is out of this world. The album is just as depressing as you would think it's going to be because, I mean, come on now, it's Phoebe Bridgers. But there are some, I wouldn't really say more upbeat, or not as sad tracks on this record. Favorite songs are going to be DVD Menu, Moon Song, and ICU. At my top 2 records, I do want to start off with my number 2 record, and to introduce it, it is the self-titled of an artist who has released 2 albums previous to, both of which I think are solid 9 albums, but this one is absolutely a 10. I was super dumb late to the party on this one. Still somehow managed to get the limited edition pressing though, which is very exciting for me because, as you know, I prefer limited edition of anything. But I was late to this party, and when I say late, I mean I think I listened to it the last month of the year, so like December, but on my last FM app, I think I scrolled it like over 300 times in the month of December. And now she's one of my favorite artists in general, and this album jumped from not even being on my radar to being number 2 on my list like that. So, number 2 album, Lianne La Hava's self-titled. This is a masterpiece album, from her vocals to the songwriting to just the funky, groovy soul that she has given us with all of the other albums she's ever released. Favorite songs on here, Bittersweet, Read My Mind, Green Papaya, and the Weird Fishes cover, immaculate. Out of this world good. So if you haven't listened to it yet, you're late to the party. get on the party. And for the introduction to my last album, this is the posthumous album of my favorite artist of all time. Super big fan. Last album, or last video I did was actually unboxing his box set. And a lot of people are going to say that it's not the best album of 2020, but it is the most meaningful album of 2020 to me, and it is still a phenomenal album, definitely in his top 3 work. A 10 album, just like every other album I've showed on my top 5s for 2020. But we have got Circles by Mac Miller. Funny story, I actually had 2 copies of this. I pre-ordered one on Mac Miller's website, and my mom pre-ordered me a copy off of Amazon. Amazon got there first, and I actually kept the copy that my mom got me, and I gave one of my closest friends the copy that I ordered, because I feel like you should spread the wealth of Mac Miller joy, and I would have had 3 of the same album at this point, even though I'm not going to spin the one from the box set. But this album means more to me than I can vocalize. This album really saved my 2020 in a mental standpoint, although it does suck that there will be no Circles tour. Favorite songs are Good News, Complicated, and Hand-Me-Downs. And those are my top 5 albums of 2020, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Top 5 albums of 2021 will probably not even be a top 5. Quite honestly, I'm being pretty consistent on making sure that I'm keeping up with every album that releases, or at least most of them. So hopefully the top 5 will turn into the top 20. Last year I wasn't really on top of my listening game. Like I said, thank you for watching. All my links will be down in the description below. Let me know what your top 5s were. Let me know if you disagree with any of these being phenomenal albums. Let's discuss it. I quite enjoy discussing music with you guys, so I'll see you in the next video, and I'm out.